So, Jesus is the Good Shepherd. How do his sheep listen to his voice? How do we get to know God through Jesus? Is it just a question of paying attention to what he says? Well, no, not really. The people who got Jesus crucified, they were paying very close attention to what Jesus said, probably taking notes and everything. But they didn't end up knowing God. What they were listening for was evidence on which to convict. Of course, that's not us, is it? Actually, I suppose you might have tuned into this series intent on discovering that there was nothing worth bothering with in this guy. We're different though, aren't we? What's that usefully vague phrase that you sometimes hear said? Oh, he loves the Lord. He loves the Lord. Great. Can mean anything from he's kind to his mother to he likes singing in the church choir. We love the Lord. What does that mean? Do we think he's a terrific bloke? Well, thinking that doesn't actually get us knowing God either. Jesus hasn't got much use for likes. Now, Jesus says over and over again, though, in chapters 14 and 15 of John's Gospel, that if we love him, we will obey his commandments. And when he says that, he's not just being demanding. He's actually being the opposite. He's being giving. And what he's giving us is his own open secret of how a real human being, like us, can live in a real relationship with God. Same way he does. Listen to what he says in John 15, verses 9 and 10. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you obey my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have obeyed my Father's commands and remain in his love. So it's not just about paying attention to Jesus' words or liking what we hear. It's about living by what he says, converting everything we hear into our actions, just like a musician would convert dots on a page into music. And then Jesus is absolutely clear. Those who love me will obey my teaching, my Father will love them, and we will come to them and make our home with them. That's John 14:23. Again, how? How do we put into action what we're hearing from Jesus? Well, we'll finish this week with one very simple, but I warn you, not easy, step that everyone has to make. It is this. Until we heard about Jesus, we were living our lives from another set of instructions, weren't we? Basically, the set of instructions that got issued to us every day by our own appetites. You want this? Go get it. Well, now we've heard about Jesus, what now? How are we going to live? You see, some try and carry on living the old way and sort of bolt on believing in Jesus. But he made clear that that can't be done. He said, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. That's John 14:6. So his sheep who listen to his voice, those who love him, who obey his commands, they all end up saying to themselves, well, he is the way. Therefore, I have been living the wrong way. And right now, I must stop living that way and begin living his way. I must make a U-turn in my life. Everything has to go right now if it doesn't fit with the fact that Jesus is the way. So, how do I make that U-turn? Where do we go from there? Let's talk about it next week. If you have been, thanks for listening.